Hi everybody, it's RwC Paul, and I'm going to draw some stuff for you. I was at TFCon in DC. You probably remember. If you weren't there, then sorry. I hung out. Our buddy Grim Lockamus was at the table with us in Artist Alley, and he had his customs, and you all bought his stuff real fast. And then you went and bought my stuff, including my new book, which is called You Can Do Stupid Things. So thank you for checking that out. And it was awesome for you to stop by and visit us. I'll have copies of those available online. I didn't get much. I got Casey Collar's book, which is pretty awesome. And then I bought one action figure, and I can't find him because he's tiny. But he was to replace this guy, G1 Buzzsaw, who has been broken since 1985. So, you know, now you can hear me shift around looking for him. And maybe I'll do something later on. Maybe I'll tear the place apart and have the camera on while I do it. But I was just holding him like a second ago. Oh well, chalked it up to me being a big clumsy oaf and losing stuff. Other thing I did was I did watercolors while I was hanging out. One of the things I did was the amazing, spectacular spider swipe. Feeling cute, might delete later. These knuckleheads, I love drawing. I haven't drawn in a while. Wonder Aileron. Wonder Aileron. I got this Soundwave and Blaster thing going on. And of course, classic Optimus Prime, farting. And then I did Bumblebee as a bee. Let's be friends. It says bee and it's got a bee on it. Anyway, but I didn't like how this one turned out because if you can't tell, the ink and the paint, the watercolor, the water kind of merged together, and so it got kind of a dirty vibe going on. And maybe it looks a little bit fuzzier. But I'm going to try and recreate that here, and I'm going to do it with the paint first, and then I'm going to color it in. And I'm going to do, let's start off with, the blue, because that's the smallest amount of stuff I got to do. And I want to mention that I got these cool paints from Target, and they were like $3. And that was really cool. And the great thing about watercolors is that the water spreads really fast. Does it dry fast? I sure hope so for the sake of this video. But I'm an impatient person, and I'm just gonna slap that paint on there and make it look classy. So you don't want to get like actual paint on here, you just want to get the watered down paint. And spread it around. And I want to say it's almost hard to ruin watercolors, but I try. See? It's almost too easy. Look at that. I penciled it out first, and I use a light blue pencil called non-repro blue. If you know what that means that if I scan it, it won't show up on the scanner, in theory. But it usually does, but very lightly. And it's pretty easy to remove in certain art programs that I will not name right now. So I'm just going to use a smaller brush to do that. We're already on our way. You can see how long this is going to take. It's not going to take long at all. Alright. That's pretty good. Alright. Looking for any kind of reinforcements. Here, positive reinforcement. Okay, so that was a big chunk of it. Now we're going to go back and we're going to paint his face yellow. And we have plenty of yellow paint. Any yellow paint there. So I typically don't use yellow paint in my bizarre watercolors, but that's fine. Like I said, you can see I'm scooping up a big gloop of paint. Came out. So I'm just going to spread that around. I do want it to show up, but I don't want to, the purpose of watercolors is that it's water that happens to be colored. So that's that. So, and I'm also left-handed, and so I go from right to left. It's just like the opposite of video games. Pretty exciting, huh? Of course it is. And just going where the paint takes me. Just pretty far. Look how much that fills in real quick. And then the other thing is, if you've seen how much I do, you know that I have a lot of paint left over when I'm done with this. When I'm done painting these guys. I'm trying to paint around the lines, and one thing I want to do is not cross the blue, because then it'll be green. But I'm also going around the lines that I drew. If you can't tell. Sorry for like any heavy breathing, any heavy weird breathing. Alright, so you can see how that worked out. I'll do like it works out pretty quick, right? And it dries out pretty quick too. It's not too quick, but still, it's pretty remarkable. I don't want to overdo it because then you'll have like a puddle, and the idea is to not have too much left over so that it gets. But like I said, I have a lot left over. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to replicate what's at the bottom here, which is flowers. So I'll just try to just draw squares like that. See if it works out. It's kind of your imagination that fills in the how awful. I guess those are flowers, Paul. All right. I was going to give this paint to Jesse's kids, but then I selfishly wanted it because I really liked how it turned out. The stuff from Target for $3. I was like really impressed with it. I had way too much fun. All right. So I'm going to wash that out. It's pretty easy to wash these brushes out, and I don't really worry about cross-contamination with, this tube and that tube. But I do have multiple brushes out, so I might as well just grab this one here. And we'll do red. And like I said, I want to kind of get out some of the actual paint. It's got to get, there's not really any. Yeah, it would leave a trail of like actual paint. So yep. Watch and paint dry, watch and paint dry. That's my hair. Watch and paint dry. What's it doing there? And now it's all in the paint. Oops. Watch and paint dry. This is fun to do. It's pretty wild. All right. And then there is the sweeping motion of his bee butt there. So I don't know if the angle of the camera is killing it on this or not. We'll zoom in a little bit. A giant hairy arm there. I'm just going to grab this wide one and just do another sweeping motion. Oh, there's a bit of that paint that sticks. So I'm just going to scoop it up. And it's coming from the tail. Just gonna try and shape it around the stinger, which is not painted in yet. But anyway, there you go. It's not as dynamic as that, but he's also further along and he's still more centered here. So I'll just do one more thing, which is I'm going to grab the green here. And yeah, there's no paint. It's just water. It's all diluted in there. I'm just gonna kind of draw the stems, the leafy stems. Yum yum yum. Salad, right? You guys are all herbivores. I did my market research and Robot with Coffee. I don't say they're vegetarians, but most of you are, nocturnal mammals who eat carrots and what have you, and probably don't understand English. Basically, the raccoon's living next door to my mom in my neighbor's house, who moved out and let the raccoons take over, kind of like in Pawnee, Indiana. It's very faint. I'm just gonna keep doing it, but you get the idea. I think having the contrast of colors helps bring each other out, but it's still pretty faint. Now you know why there's a tiny bit of yellow there, and now you know why there's a tiny bit of red. All right, so there you go. Now for the hard part, which is ruining this. Alright, well, it feels dry, so one thing I gotta watch out for is my big meaty hook, and I'm left-handed, so I'm covering up the screen there. But yeah, as you can see, I'm drawing on it, and it is not melting into I have to think about everything spatially here. I'm also using an old pen that broke. It's split, I don't know, you won't be able to see it, but it's split in the center. Typically, if I'm drawing something in watercolors, I don't go back and use ink on it, or I'll draw a robot around the paint. But this time, for the sake of art, that's what I'll do. And yes, I looked up what a bumblebee looks like and tried to go from there. I did. So this is sort of the opposite. It is not settling in. But again, I'm also using a light pen that broke. Smooth that out, or make it worse, depending how you view that. Just kind of do something. There you go. All right, and kind of an oversimplification of this guy here. But so far, nothing has gotten gross in the translation. And then a little bit of perspective there on his his feetsies on the other side. All right. So there's that. Do I need to draw in his eyes? Yeah, there you go. I made his eyes hexagonal as opposed to all right. So I'm just kind of using this dried up marker. Gives him kind of a fuzzy look. Just kind of like, and none of it is seeping into the ink, or into the, what do you call it, the paint. And it makes his feet look kind of fuzzy. But the paint does not look fuzzy or dirty. Even though I'm sure in real life these guys are covered in filth. Anyway, if I do it like that, then the fuzz gets on his feet. Do it like that. So the distance a little bit, just be very careful. This is how I stay in the line, is by pushing it on the side. Alright. And so there you go. And then I can just use my pen here to kind of hash some of that out. You even it out so it looks like it's something, or that it connects with the side like that. Alright. Not perfect, but it is watercolor, and so, you know, some imagination helps out a little bit. And there you go. That is Bumblebee. Okay. Well, there you go. You watched paint dry. You watched me paint this little guy. Thank you so much for checking him out. I'll center him. And I'm going to zoom. Oops, the other way, Paul. There you go. And there you go. Nice little scene for Bumblebee. And there you go. That's watercoloring with Paul. I don't have a like or subscribe button, so don't worry about smashing it. Oh wait, I got paint in that. I thought I was done, but I wasn't. There you go. And I leave like a little. I'm leaving like a little bit of line between his butt and the stinger, so that you know it's separate. Okay. See? Done. Okay. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll talk to you later.